Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to install, set up, and start using the MemberPress ClubCircles add-on. ClubCircles is part of the MemberPress ClubSuite collection of add-ons, and it expands the community side of your MemberPress website by giving your members a dedicated place to connect and interact. With ClubCircles, your members can join private, topic-based groups and participate in social-style feeds, where they can post updates, share wins, ask questions, and have real-time conversations. And all this happens right on your website, right inside of MemberPress, without the need for extra plugins or third-party community platforms. As the site owner, you stay fully in control too. You manage the content, the moderation, and you can choose which membership levels can access each group. This keeps your community positive, focused, and aligned with your brand. When members have a place to connect, they're far more likely to stay engaged, stick around, and keep investing in your business. So that means stronger engagement, higher retention, and more long-term value for you. Now, before we get into ClubCircles, there's one important thing to know. ClubCircles works on top of the ClubDirectory add-on. So you'll need to have ClubDirectory installed and set up first. So ClubDirectory gives your members customizable profiles where they can share who they are and offer ways for other members to connect with them. These profiles are the foundation of how members show up inside of your community. So once profiles are in place with ClubDirectory, ClubCircles unlocks community groups with private feeds where members can post updates, collaborate, share wins, and truly connect, all on your website. So when you combine ClubDirectory and ClubCircles, your members can create rich, professional profiles, find and connect with each other, join interest-based groups, build connections, and do it all without ever having to leave your website. So in this video, first, I'm going to show you how to install the ClubCircles add-on, and then I'll show you some settings that you can use to customize how your circles work. We'll see how to create a circle and set the experience up for your members, and then I'll show you what it all looks like for your members. Lastly, we'll go over some content moderation. Alright, so before we set up and use ClubCircles, be sure to check out our knowledge base articles on ClubCircles for a lot more information and step-by-step guidance. This video is going to give you a general basic overview with some examples, but be sure to check out our knowledge base for more extensive information. So before you get started, you'll need to have the MemberPress plugin installed on your WordPress website. You'll also need a MemberPress plan that supports ClubCircles. You can reference our support docs page on installing ClubCircles to see if your current MemberPress plan supports it. On that page, you'll also see a short list of things that you'll need before installing, like your version of WordPress. Also, to use ClubCircles, you'll need to have the ClubDirectory add-on installed and configured too. And again, that's because Circles relies on member profiles, which ClubDirectory sets up. So see our support docs page on ClubDirectory to see how to do that. There, you'll find a full video walkthrough as well. Also, this isn't required to install ClubCircles, but you'll need to have at least one active membership created in MemberPress if you want to create a circle that's members only. Okay, so first you'll need to install the ClubCircles add-on. To do that, from your WordPress admin dashboard, go to MemberPress here in the left sidebar, and Add-ons. Then find ClubCircles, and click to install and activate the add-on. Once it's installed, you'll see Circles here added under the ClubSuite add-on, here on the left. As well as moderation, which is the area where you can view and moderate reported material, which we'll see later. So before we get into creating a community group, aka circle, first I'm going to go over some design settings and some general settings that pertain to ClubCircles. And that reminds me that throughout this video, I'm going to use the term circle to describe this page, which is the actual community group page where people can post and share. You might think of them as a group or a community group, but from here on out, I'm going to reference them as circles, which is what they're actually called in ClubCircles. So again, a circle is a group of members, and this is the page of the actual interface for the circle. So it's got a social media style feed where members can post, like post comments and posts, and respond to each other's posts and stuff like that. So I just want to show you this page here at the beginning for some context into what a circle is in ClubCircles and what it actually looks like. Okay, so first thing, if I go to MemberPress, Settings, and the Ready Launch tab, when you install the ClubCircles add-on, you'll see this toggle here added to the Ready Launch styling called Circles. If it's toggled on, your circle pages will be styled with the Ready Launch built-in page styling. And if it's toggled off, Ready Launch won't style your circle pages, and instead they'll be styled with your theme or page builder instead. Now, if you're not familiar with Ready Launch, it's MemberPress's built-in automatic page styling that designs all your MemberPress and membership-specific pages for you. So all you have to do, and actually even this is optional, but generally all you would want to do is choose a brand color and upload a logo here. And then all these MemberPress pages are automatically styled with Ready Launch if you have these toggles on. And you can also turn them off at any time to disable the auto styling. And you can mix and match too, so you can just turn off some of them or leave some on to really dial in the look and feel of your website. So the sample website I'm using for this video is styled with Ready Launch. So all my MemberPress pages are styled with Ready Launch, that is. So keep that in mind as we build out a circle and view my website. So if you're not using Ready Launch styling and are styling your pages with a theme or page builder instead, your circle pages will look a little bit different than mine, but all the functionality will be the same. Okay, so here, just choose if you want to auto-style circle pages with Ready Launch by enabling this toggle. And if you make any changes here, just be sure to click Update Options to make it take effect. Okay, so next we'll see some more settings for ClubCircles. If you go to ClubSuite here on the left, and Settings, and the Circles tab, here are settings that affect all circles site-wide. And there are more settings that you can use to customize individual circles too, which we'll see later. So all these tabs are related to settings for ClubDirectory, so check out our support documentation pages and video tutorial on ClubDirectory to see how to configure all those. So here in the Circles tab of the settings, the first option is to be able to change the URL slug for circle pages. So here's that sample circle page here on the screen. So in the URL for the circle, here is that slug. So that's what you can change with that setting. Also, the slug MP circle by default will pertain to the circle listings page. So this is the page that lists out all your circles on your website, and you could give out this link to members too if you want. So it's your site /mp-circle by default, but you can change that to be whatever you want. Maybe groups, circles, whatever you need. Or you can just leave it as its default mp-circle, which I'll do here. So back in the settings, you can just modify it right here if you want to. Next is your join circle URL. This is the URL users will go to if they try to join a circle but don't have access to it, or try to view a circle and they don't have access to it. We'll see exactly what this looks like later in the video, but on screen here is a sample circle page that I already have set up. And I have it set so only members of one of my memberships can join and see it. So this site visitor here doesn't have access to this circle. But when this site visitor clicks Join Now, the URL that you enter as the Join Circle URL is what that button will go to. So in my case here, it's the MemberPress membership registration page for my Trailblazer membership, which is the membership that gives people access to the circle. So they would just sign up for the membership, and then after they make the purchase, they'll be able to join the circle. And we're going to see a demo of this later in the video. So back to the settings. Just enter the URL of that page that will grant users access to your circles. So mine will be that membership registration page URL, which we just saw in the demo. If you leave this field blank, but you do have a restriction on joining a circle, for example, if someone has to have a membership to join it, on screen, here's what that would look like. It would just simply tell them that they don't have access, and a little bit about what's needed to be able to join, but there won't be that Join Now button. So to add that join button, you would just need to enter a join circle URL here. But just note that it's not required to enter a URL here at all if that's better for your experience. You can also override this join URL per individual circle, which we're going to see later in the video when we create a circle. But this URL here will work site-wide across all the circles on your site unless you override it per individual circle. So it's really up to you about how you want this process to work. It really depends on how many circles you have on your site and the different permissions that you want to set up for them. Maybe you have one membership that grants access to all your circles, or different memberships for different circles. So there's no one set option to enter here, it all really depends on your specific situation. But generally here, enter the URL for the page where users can register to gain access to your circles. Again, this might be a MemberPress membership registration page, like I have here, or you could even create a custom sign up or sales page or something, or a custom landing page, so a WordPress page in your site that you create, which could then have links to different sign up or registration pages, or however you want it to work. Either way, you would just enter that URL here. If this is all a little bit confusing right now, don't worry, we're going to see exactly how this works later and what it looks like for a member. But for my site here, I'm just going to keep it simple. So my circles that I create will only be accessible to people with my Trailblazer membership. So here for my sample site, I entered my membership registration page URL for my Trailblazer membership, which will grant access to my circles. So that'll be my join URL here in the settings. All right, next are emails relating to circles. So member notices are emails that are sent out to members when certain things happen within circles. And admin emails are notices that are sent to you as the admin. So that admin email address that these emails are sent to is the one that you have set up in the Emails tab of the MemberPress settings. And here are the emails sent to members when certain things happen, and to you as the admin. The last section sends emails to members when other actions happen, like when someone reacts to a comment, writes a new comment on a post, posts a new post, reacts to a post, and replies to a member's comment. I won't go into major detail here, but there's a tooltip next to each email that explains what it is. You'll see the toggle sort of opaque or grayed out, but they're on. And you can't disable them here. This is because these are enabled or disabled by members themselves and can be different per member. And we'll see how this works later. Okay, so each email here, you can leave them toggled on, which means they will be sent out when these things happen, or you can toggle them off, which means they won't be sent out. And again, these emails here, you don't have to worry about the toggles because they're set by members. Also, each email is written for you by default by MemberPress and are all ready to go, but you can edit them and change what they say by clicking Edit right here. If you do make any changes and just want to go back to the email's default, you can just click Reset right here. And you could also send a test email to yourself to see what it looks like in your email too. If you make any changes to any of the emails here in the settings, just be sure to click here to save them all. Okay, so those are the settings, and we're going to see circle-specific settings later. So now you just need to create your circle or circles. So to do that, just go to ClubSuite and Circles. Here you'll be able to see all the circles that you have in your website. So you can see I already have one created here on my sample site that I set up earlier. So to create your first circle, or just to create new ones, just click Add New. And it'll open the editor. So first, give it a name. This will be what your circle is called and the text that will appear at the top of it. And also this will set the slug for the individual circle URL. And you could also change it later too. So I'm going to call this one Summit Seekers. And you can give it an optional description right here, just like this. And you can save it as a draft when creating it, or you can just click here to go ahead and publish it. And once you publish it, you can see a URL is created for the circle. So clicking on circle here on the right, here's that slug that was generated for the URL. And you can modify it here too if you want to change it. So now on to editing the circle. Here on the right, under the Circle tab, you can set a featured image. This is optional, but it styles the top with an image background under your title. So if I save the circle so far, and then click here to view it, here's what it looks like at the top. So it's just the name of my circle. And then also notice the Ready Launch Page styling on the circle page here. So it's got my brand color and my logo up at the top. But now, closing the page, I'll upload a featured image from my media library. This one right here, like that. And it inserts it here. And then I'll save the circle. And then when I go to view that circle page again, here's what it looks like now. So it's got my featured image set here behind the title. So you have that option by setting a featured image if you want. Next, here you can set a thumbnail image. This will appear on your circle's listing page and some other areas. So I'll go ahead and upload one right here. This one, just like that. And go ahead and save it. So now when I open up a new incognito window, and then go to that URL for my listings page, which is your site / whatever that base slug that we saw earlier is in the settings. So I just kept it at default, so it's my site / mp-circle. And here's my listings page. So here's my circle that I'm currently editing. And here's my other circle that I already created. So this is the main place that my thumbnail image will show up, which you see here. Okay, going back to edit my circle. On the main area here on the left, if you scroll down to circle configuration, here's where you're going to configure how the circle functions and what shows up on it. So first you see rules. So if I open up a preview of my circle page again, your members will see this rules tab on the circle page itself. This is text outlining the rules for your circle and community. So MemberPress already gives you some default text outlining some basic rules here, so you can just use these if you want. But if you go back to edit the circle, here you can go ahead and edit the rules to say whatever you need. You can even bold, italic, underline, set bullet points or numbered lists, insert links, and even edit the HTML for the text area. Again, if you make any changes to your rules, just be sure to save the circle to make them take effect. So these rules are set per circle. So if you create another circle, that new circle will populate with the default rule text, so you'll just have to copy and paste any custom rules that you type out here for that new circle. Okay, so next you see the Settings tab. Here's where you're going to control your members' functionality, who can join, what shows up, and how your circle actually works. So first on the left are permission settings. So this is where you can set what actions are allowed by members and moderators. So moderators are members of a circle with special roles and capabilities for that circle, like being able to ban members and delete comments and posts. And we're going to see how moderation works later in the video. So each of these toggles can be turned on or off, and there's an explanation of what each one does underneath the titles. So you can read through these on your own to decide what permissions that you want to enable or disable. But I'll just go over some of them here. On the screen, I'll put up a sample circle that I already created on my website. So it's already populated with posts and likes and comments. And I'm logged in as a test member on my website that's a member of the circle. And also here on the screen are those permission toggles that we're going over. So this capability members can create posts are when members come up here at the top and create a brand new post in the feed, which can be text, emojis, or even image attachments. Comments, the second option, are when users comment on posts or comment on other comments. So here's this test user commenting on a post. And commenting on another comment by clicking reply. So those are what are comments. Members can edit their own posts and comments, the next two toggles. Let's say a member click edit on their post or comment, and lets them modify it after posting. So you can choose if you want members to be able to do that. Members can delete their posts. You can let members delete posts of theirs after they've already posted them. Members can delete their own comments, same thing, they can click here next to comments that they've left and delete those. You can choose if you want members to be able to share links in posts and comments. So maybe you don't want anyone to be able to link out to external websites. Or you want to help block potential inappropriate content or whatever might arise. You can enable or disable that option so members can or can't post links. Okay, so back to the edit page of the circle now. Here you can choose to disable or enable any of those things that we just saw. Next, you can let your moderators ban or unban members. So you can set those moderators up on circles as well. So you can have multiple members be moderators for you if you want. And we'll see that moderation process later. Here you can hide banned members' posts and comments. So if someone's banned, you can choose if their posts or comments are automatically hidden once they get banned. And last you have Show Muted Members Notice at the top of the circle. This will display this text here, which again you can edit, if a member is muted, and is logged in and goes to view the circle page. And again, we're going to see banning and muting later, but muting a member is different from deleting them from a group or banning them from the group. Muting lets you set a time frame to make it so a particular member can't post or comment in the group for a period of time that you set. So it doesn't ban them outright or delete them from the group, it just puts them on a pause how long they can post for. Kind of like a temporary timeout or warning or punishment for abuse or spam. So if they are muted, they'll see this text at the top. And instead of this tag here in the brackets, it'll actually display the expiration date for their muting period for when they can post again. Okay, so once again, if you make any changes to any of these toggles or your mute text, just be sure to save the circle to make them all take effect. Next, under Visibility Settings, you can control who can see and join the circle. Under Circle Visibility from the dropdown, you can set who can see the circle page itself. Again, each circle page is just a link in a URL. So anyone who has that URL, whether they're logged in or not, or whether they're a member of their site or not, can access your circle page with the conversation feed. Now, on our support docs page on creating circles, there's a list of things that are true when each of these visibility options are set and how it works. I'm going to give you the gist here, and always be sure to test out different scenarios from a testing account when setting up your circle to see exactly how the circle works for logged in users, for members, for logged out visitors, etc. Okay, so you can leave it set to public, which means anyone, again a member or not, or someone logged in or not, anyone with that URL can view the page. In the dropdown, you can also select logged in. This will make it so the circle can only be seen by logged in users of your website. So it will not be visible to site guests or visitors who are logged out. So these logged in site visitors who can see the circle don't have to have an active subscription to a membership to see it. They only have to be logged in. Hidden will hide the circle and only allow existing members of the circle to see it. So this prevents new members from joining. So if you have a private group, say for example only team or staff members or something that you want to either add manually, or you want to have a brief period of time for open sign up, but then after everyone's signed up, you can come in here and set it to hidden. So you can do this for a number of different reasons, but if the circle's hidden, you as the admin can still see and manage it. Okay, so in the dropdown, you also have members. So this will let you select one or more MemberPress memberships that you have created on your website and make it so only users with an active subscription to that membership, or one of those memberships that you select, can see the circle page. So you can select just one membership, like this. So this is saying someone must have a Trailblazer membership to view the circle page. Or you can select multiple memberships, like this. So what this is saying is that someone must have either an active subscription to a Trailblazer membership or an active subscription to an Explorer membership to be able to view the circle. Okay, so for my circle here, I'll set it to membership and Trailblazer, so only Trailblazer members can see the circle, and then I'll save what I have so far. So now only users with an active subscription to my Trailblazer membership will be able to see and join the circle. So now I'm going to open the circle page in a new incognito window, so I'm not logged in as my site's admin user. If you're not familiar with it, an incognito window lets you view your site totally logged out, so it's like you're a brand new site visitor seeing it. So I'm not logged in as any member or admin account on my website. And here's what this site visitor sees when they try to view my circle. So I just restricted it to my Trailblazer members, so it displays a custom message telling people that they need to be logged in and have an active subscription. And there's a button to join. So remember at the start of the video, we set this join URL, which is my Trailblazer membership registration page, in the ClubSuite settings. So that's where this join button's going. So if you don't set a URL, it'll just display this message with no button. So if I click join as a site visitor, you can see I wind up on my registration page. So to join the circle, the visitor would just sign up here and they'll be able to join. And we'll see this process at the end of the video. Okay, so back to the edit page of my circle. Relating to that join button, the next option you see is join circle URL. So you can also set a join circle URL per circle right here. So if you do have a join circle URL in the settings, so again, just opening up ClubSuite and settings, and the circle tab again. So here's that join circle URL right here, which applies to all circles across your website. So if you do have this URL set here, going back here to the edit page of my circle, any URL that you paste here will override that URL in the ClubSuite settings. So like I mentioned earlier, there are a ton of different ways that you can set up your experience, and I won't go too far into them all here, but maybe you have a bunch of different circles, most of which are available to a lower tiered membership, for example. But then say you have one or two, and maybe some additional ones that you want to create in the future that will only be available to higher tiered memberships. You could set your site-wide join circle URL in the ClubSuite settings to be the registration page for your lower tiered membership, but those few circles that require the higher tier, you could set those URLs to be your higher tiered membership registration page on those individual circle pages. So those would just override the URL in your settings. Or you could just not set a URL at all in the ClubSuite settings for your whole site, and then set all your joined circle URLs individually on each circle, right here. Or you don't have to set the URL here on the circle at all, and then just use the one set in your ClubSuite settings. So it's all up to you about how you want to handle that based on your specific site and flow. But all that's to say that you can set your joined circle URL here to be applied to this circle. So in this case, it won't take users to the URL in these settings, but it'll go to this URL that you enter here instead. So for mine, since I have my URL already set in the ClubSuite settings, and it goes to my Trailblazer membership, I'm just going to leave this blank. Okay, so the last thing here you see is automatic assignment settings. So this lets you set how members are added or removed from the circle. So all these toggles are off by default, so people have to click join on your circle to manually join it. But you can add people automatically instead based on certain things here. The first option, when you toggle it on, lets you automatically add members to the circle when they sign up for certain memberships. So this adds users to the circle when they subscribe to any required membership that you set. When someone subscribes to those memberships, they'll automatically be added to your circle, so they won't have to click join. So when someone either already has an active subscription to the membership or memberships that you select here, or when someone new signs up for one of those memberships, they'll automatically be added to the circle. And you could do the same thing to WordPress or MemberPress related roles, all of which that you see here. So if someone has this role assigned to them, they'll be automatically added to the circle. Also, if that user role is removed from a certain user, the user will automatically be removed from the circle too. So if you're not familiar with those roles here, just find an article on what WordPress user roles are and how they work. And last, you see automatically remove members. When you toggle this on, this will automatically remove members whose membership expires, roles change, or they no longer match the assignment options that you set here. So this will make sure members are removed from the circle when they no longer meet these auto assignment requirements here. Again, usually this will be because someone's membership expires, or they cancel it, or their user roles change. But it can also be because you change the circle settings here so the user doesn't match these auto assignment criteria anymore. But for my circle here, I'm not going to automatically add anyone. And scrolling down, here are some options that pertain to content protection with MemberPress rules on the circle page. So you could create a MemberPress rule that targets all circles or individual circles that you set on the rule. So say, for example, you make it so only certain memberships can see the page. And this would paywall it using the unauthorized message that's set up in your MemberPress settings or a custom message that you set here. However, if you're setting your visibility up here on the circle, you won't need to bother with this. Protecting the circle with rules would be a more advanced or very specific use case, so if you don't really see the benefit to doing this right now as you watch this, just ignore this information. But using rules to protect circles is here if you need it. Okay, so that's the options that you have when customizing a circle. If you make any changes at all here when editing a circle, just be sure to click here to save all your changes and have them take effect. Alright, so now if I go back to ClubSuite and Circles, here you can see all the circles that you have in your website. You can delete them, and then click on them to edit them as well. So you see that circle that I already had created on my website before, and you can see its visibility is public, so anyone can see it. And you can see my new circle that I made, and that visibility is members only. So here, right at a glance, you can easily see each circle's visibility. In the access column here, you can see they both say public, but again, that doesn't mean that anyone could just see it if you have your visibility set on the circle. This column pertains to MemberPress rules protecting content, so just go ahead and ignore that here if you're not using that. And here in these columns, you can see how many members are in a circle and how many posts are in there. Also, this icon here under Manual Sync will update changes to your circle immediately and do stuff like add new members. This stuff happens automatically, but sometimes it can take a bit to auto-update. So just to make sure that your circle is all up to date immediately, you can click here and it'll sync it up. Also, just a note before moving on, your users can see a listing of all your circles by going to your site / and then whatever that base slug is set in your settings, which, going back to the settings, again, it's right here. So I'll copy that. And then if I quickly open my site in a new incognito window, so I'm not logged in as my site's admin, and then have it my site / and then paste that slug. Again, here's that circle listing page that shows these circles on my website. So I just want to show this again for another note, is that maybe you want to use this link throughout your website so people can navigate to it. You can use it throughout your website as a link, you can use it in your member emails, or even add it to your members account page as an option. So I just want to make a note that you can use this listings page anywhere in your website that you want to. And here's what that page looks like. It's a simple listing using those icon images that you can upload per circle. And users can change how circles appear right here with these filtering options, so they can sort with that, or they can search for circles here too. All right, so going back to WordPress, next I'll show you some moderation type options you have as the admin for a circle. So when you're logged into WordPress as your admin account, and you go to ClubSuite and Circles, and then not clicking Edit or the name to go to the edit page, but if you click View or Members, really doesn't matter which one, but for the sake I'll click on Members, I get to that actual circle page as my admin. So here I have some more options that I can use to control as the admin. On the last screen, if you were to click on View, you would just wind up here, which is the actual feed of the conversations in the circle. But here on the Members tab, and actually I'm going to go back to my circles and go ahead and click Members here on my other circle, since I had that one populated with some members. Here I can see a list of members in the circle. And here are some member management options. So here, by clicking Add Members, you can manually add any member of your site to the circle. So you can search for them here, and then select this to add them. And here's a list of the members that are actually part of the circle. And these tabs let you display only members who are members, moderators, muted, or banned. In this list, you can click on a name to get to their user profile. So you can see their role in the circle here. So all of them are members right now. You can see the date and time that they joined, their status. And under the Actions column, you can click these three dots next to each member and see more options available to you. You can view all their posts, so that'll take you to this page which shows you all the posts by this member. And going back, you can ban this member, which will kick them out of the circle. And I'm not going to demo the whole banning process fully in this video, but once you choose to ban a member, they're gone and they can't request to come back, unless you, as the admin or moderator, unban them. So on screen here is a sample. So I banned a test member on my website. And when that test member tries to view my circle page, here's what they see. Also, banning a member will hide their posts and comments from the circle feed too. But you, as the admin, will be able to see those posts. So if you're logged in and viewing the circle as an admin, those posts will look like this to you with the hidden text next to them. And also, you can choose to unban a member that you've banned, and that will show up as an option to unban them like you see here. So unbanning will restore their access to the group, and it'll also show their posts and comments that were hidden with the ban. All right, and back here, you can also simply just remove them, which will remove them from the group, but they'll be able to join again if they want. And also you can mute them. So clicking mute, you can set a time frame, and then click confirm mute. And this will make it so they can view the circle, so they can view the posts and replies and the comments, but they won't be able to post or comment until that mute period that you select ends. And if you do mute them, when they view that circle page, it'll show them that mute message that you can customize when editing a circle. And lastly here, you can promote a certain member to a moderator. So this will change their role here to moderator. And being a moderator for a circle will give them the ability to delete posts and comments, and then also remove and ban members. So giving moderators the ability to ban and unban members is a setting that you can actually turn on and off when editing a circle. So maybe you only want your moderators to be able to remove comments, but only want you as the admin to have the actual ability to ban people. So you can definitely set that up. And we'll go over near the end of the video, moderation, but I just want to show you a little bit right here. Okay, so also here on the circle page, when you're logged in as your site admin, you have these settings too. Now these settings are mostly used by your members in the circle, so these will only pertain to you as the admin or moderator or whatever if you're actively posting and commenting in the circle yourself. But your members will have this page too. And also, you'll notice this moderation page, which lets you view reported content. And again, we're going to see that near the end of the video. So that's all the options that you have when viewing the circle as the admin. So again, viewing the circle page when you're logged in as your admin user gives you these options to manage members, mute, ban, etc. Alright, so now at this point, I'm going to show you how my circle is working for a new member signup who signs up for my website. And then I'll hop into the circle that I already had previously set up and populated with some posts and comments to show you how the circle works for members engaging in it. And then after that, I'll add a fake negative or inappropriate post or a comment by a test member, and then report it as another test member to show you how you can moderate content and ban and mute and remove people. So for my new circle that I created, going back to Circles, and clicking to edit that circle that I made. First, I'll go through a new member test signup to show you how a member would get into the circle actually. And again, just showing this real quick under Settings, users have to have my Trailblazer membership to see my circle right here. And here, I don't have automatic assignments set, so when someone signs up for my Trailblazer membership, they'll have to choose to join manually, and they just won't automatically be added to the circle. They'll have to manually click join. And again, going back to ClubSuite and Settings and Circles, I have my join URL set, which takes people to my Trailblazer registration page when they click join on the circle page. Okay, so before I do a test signup, first I'll go back to Circles and view the circle as my admin. And here on the feed, I'll just add some posts, just as me as the admin. So here's one of them. And another one. And I'll just type some comments here as well. Like this. And another one. So I just want to show what it looks like during this process with some actual comments and posts and stuff on the feed to show you what a user can and can't see with this process. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Circles and then click to view my circle in a new incognito window. So again, this is the URL for the page for my circle. And with the incognito window, I'm totally logged out of everything, so I'm not logged in as my admin account or any member. So it's like I'm a brand new site visitor viewing the page. And you can see this message telling them that they need to sign up. So they can't see the circle because they're not a member of my Trailblazer membership, which I set in the circle edit page that they have to have that membership to be able to view it. And this message is created for you by ClubSuite. And then they see this join button, which goes to my Trailblazer membership registration page, which remember I set in the ClubSuite settings. So I'll go ahead and fill this out with some fake testing data as a test member signup now, their address, and some additional information that I collect from them. Username, so their email address, password, and some test payment information. And then I'll go through with the signup. And then you can see the signup went through. So now this member has an account on my website and they're logged in. And they can get to their member account page here. And then under their subscriptions, you can see they have an active subscription to my Trailblazer membership. So now I'll go to that circle listings page, which remember is my site /mp-circle. And here it is. So now I'll click to view my circle. And here's what it looks like for them. So they have this option here to actually join the circle to be able to post and comment. So here you can see they can actually see my feed activity, which right now is just those posts and comments that I made previously as my admin. So again, they can see the feed because they have a Trailblazer membership. So they are meeting those visibility requirements that I set on the circle. But if you remember, I didn't enable that option to automatically add members that meet my criteria to the circle. So instead, they see this button that they have to click to actually be added to my circle as a member and be able to post and comment. If they were just added automatically, so if I did enable that on the circle edit page for them to be added automatically, they wouldn't see this and they would just automatically be added to the circle and be able to post and comment. Okay, so as this test user, I'll click join now, and you can see they just joined. It'll refresh, and now they can post. Also, they can go into their user profile and fill out their information and upload their profile photo, so that would show up when they post. And they could do that by going to their member account page, clicking on the directory tab, and navigating to their profile page to edit it. And you can also optionally give them easier ways to access their profile to edit it as well. I go over that in the video tutorial on ClubDirectory, which you can find in our support docs for a lot more information and guidance on how they can set up their member profiles. Okay, so this test user can post new posts, and they can comment. And up here, they have these tabs. They can view the rules for the circle, and they can go to settings and choose what notifications they want to receive based on their activity. So these are email notifications that will be sent to them based on the activity that they do here in the circle. So they can disable or enable those. And here they have the option to leave the circle as well. So let's say that this user wants to leave the circle. So they click that. It asks them if they're sure, and they leave. And they're redirected to the circle listing page. And if they click the view that circle again, they can see they're asked to join again. All right, one thing I want to mention again while I'm here are your circle links and circle listing page links. So both of those are just URLs on your website again. So to integrate your circle into your membership experience, you'll want to use those links throughout your website so members who have access to them can get to them. You can use these links in welcome emails or other emails that are sent out. You can link it anywhere on your homepage or other pages. You can link it up on your site navigation, so your menu items, which might be a really good place to do that. So like right here, I have a members only navigation item right here up top. So I could add it here. So I could either add my individual circle link or that directory listing link for all my circles. Or going to this member account page, you can also use our account nav tabs add-on, which you can find on the add-ons page of the MemberPress plugin, to add new items right here. So you could add an item called circles or community group or whatever, and then have that tab here link out to that individual circle URL or your circle listings page. So I just wanted to mention that real quick as sort of a final step when setting up your circles. So you want to make it as easy as possible for members to know about them and to get to them. Okay, so now I'm going to close this incognito window and show you what it looks like if I choose to automatically add members to a circle. So back here in WordPress, I'm going to go to ClubSuite and Circles and edit my circle, and down to the settings and automatic assignments. Now I'm going to toggle this on to automatically add members and choose my Trailblazer membership. And I'll also auto remove them too. And then I'll save my circle. And then going back to circles, I'll just copy my circle URL right here to use. And then I'm going to open my site in a new incognito window. So again, it's like I'm a brand new site visitor viewing my site, totally logged out. And then I'll go to sign up. And this time I'll choose my Explorer membership, my lower tier. And then I'll go ahead with a test sign up. So I'll fill out this information and this other info right here. Just like that. And some test payment information. And go through with the sign up. And you could see the sign up went through. So this test user has an account and is logged in now. And going to their account page and subscriptions, you can see they have an active subscription to my Explorer membership. So now I'll paste that URL that I copied for my circle page. And again, in my actual use case of my website, I would just add that link here for my circle so this member could easily just click on it to get to it. But for demo purposes of this video, I'm just pasting the URL. And you can see the member sees that paywall message telling them that they can't see the circle with a join button. And when they click on it, it takes them to my Trailblazer membership registration page to upgrade so that they can access the circle. And you can see that since they're already a customer of mine, all their info is already filled out for that upgrade. All they have to do is enter that payment info, just like that, and then go through the purchase. And you can see the upgrade went through. So now they're a Trailblazer member of my website, which is the membership that allows access to my circle. So now when I paste that circle URL again and go to it, you see they've automatically been added to it and they can start posting and commenting right away. So since I just chose to automatically add those Trailblazer members to the circle, when someone joins that membership, they're automatically added to it right here. Now, just to show you what that looks like with that auto remove option set as well. So real quick, I'll go back to WordPress as my admin account, and then go to MemberPress and subscriptions. And I'm just going to cancel their subscription here in the back end as my admin, just to make things quick and easy for the video. So I'll go ahead and click cancel under that user's subscription and delete it as well. So now that member's not a Trailblazer anymore. So going back to the incognito window as a user and the circle, hitting refresh, you can see they were removed. So my auto add members and my auto remove are both working. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to show you just a small sample of what an active circle looks like logged in as another test user, and then I'll show you how content moderation works. So here's another circle that I created and populated previously with some more sample posts and comments, and I'm viewing it as another test member on my website. So right up at the top, you can see the feed, view the rules of the circle, and this user can change their notification settings or choose to leave. And then back in the feed, up top, they can search for certain words, like backpack, for example, and it'll show those threads that mention backpack. Also, up here at the top, they can filter in what order the posts show up. So it's most recent by default, but they can choose most popular, which displays posts based on a formula that adds the total reactions, the posts, and the comment replies. So pretty much whatever posts have the most engagement gets showed at the top. And also most discussed they can filter by, so the post with the most comments and chatter in it is going to be showed up first. Here in this field, the member can submit a new post, and that will show up in the feed. So they can type their text out right here, maybe a question, or maybe they want to share what they're up to, like this. And here they can open up this emoji picker and add some emojis to it, and even search for certain emojis right here. So maybe these hiking boots. And with this icon, they can even attach photos to the post. So I'll just select a sample photo from my computer, and it places it here. And when it's all set, they can post it. And it posts and it shows up in the feed. Scrolling down, they can view the posts in the feed. And clicking these three dots, they can just view the post itself, which opens it up in its own page, which has its own unique URL. So they can also copy and paste and share this page for this individual post anywhere that they want to. And if they posted the post, the user can click here and delete it if you choose to have them have that ability. Scrolling down, under a post or comment or reply, they can click the heart icon to like it. And the new number for how many hearts it has updates. So they can like anything just like that. And they can also comment under someone's post, like this. And they can also choose to delete their comment as well, or to edit it. And again, you can control if they have those abilities. Or they can reply to someone's comment by clicking reply, and then entering their reply here, and it posts it here under the comment. And again, they can edit and delete that reply too. And that's pretty much it. So you can see all the activity here. And again, this user can search and filter how these are shown up at the top. And if someone has a lot of activity on a post, it won't just list all the comments out forever. They'll have to click see all comments right here. So this prevents any one post from taking up too much space on the page. And scrolling all the way down, the member can progress through multiple pages of posts too, here at the bottom. Okay, so now that we've seen all that, one last thing I want to cover is content moderation. So I'm going to go through the process of posting an abusive troll post or a comment, and then the process of getting it reported, and the content being removed, and how moderators work, and how banning members work, and muting people, and stuff like that. So first, going back to WordPress, and Circles, and viewing the circle as my admin, and going to Members. You, as the admin, are the sole moderator for content on your circle. But you can also promote other members to be moderators too. So actually, I'll go back and click to edit this circle real quick. And Settings, just to show you a few of them here that pertain to moderators. So here under Permission Settings, you can choose whether or not your moderators have the ability to ban or unban members. So turn this on if you want to give them that ability. So maybe you only want moderators to be able to remove posts and comments, but you don't want them to actually be able to ban anyone, so you can just turn those toggles off. But I'll leave mine set to on so they can ban members. Okay, so back to Circles, and viewing my circle, and going to Members. I'm going to promote this member here to moderator. So you can just click this right here and promote them. And you can see they're a moderator now right here. So later I'll have them do some moderation. All right, so now I'll open my site in a new incognito window. And then I'm going to log in as one of my test users here. And then I'll go to my circle. And now as that test user, I'll post some abusive, inappropriate, troll type of comments right here. So I'll do this one and post it. And then I'll do another one right here and post that right here. Just like that. All right, so those two troll comments are posted. So now I'm going to log out as this test user. And then I'll go ahead and log in as another member that's in this circle. So another testing account that I already have set up. So I'll log in. So now as this other test user, I'll go back to my circle and then go to those abusive comments. And then they can click these three dots and they have this option to report. So I'll report this one. And then when they report something, they can also give an explanation of why they're reporting it here in this field. Maybe abusive comment or whatever they want. And then I'll submit it. And then I'll go report this other one here as well. Give an explanation and report. All right, so now these comments are reported for me as the admin and my moderator to review. So first, I'm going to show you what this process looks like to you as the site admin, and then to one of your moderators. So going back to WordPress, for you as the admin, there are two places that you can moderate from. One is right here under ClubSuite and Moderation. So here you can see all your reported content, the reason, who posted it, and the original poster. You can filter up here what's shown if you have a bunch of reported stuff. And you could choose to only show specific circles, or just leave it set to all of them on your website. And you can click here on a reported comment, and you have all your options. You can view it, ignore it, which will just get rid of this report and won't take any action on it. You can remove the comment, which deletes it, and ban the member or mute the member for a set period of time right here. So I'll just remove the comment right here, just like that. And it gets rid of that comment and removes it from my moderation. Another place that you can moderate from is if you go to view the circle page, so back to Circles, and clicking to view mine, there's a moderation tab right here. So you can filter and have all those same options. Okay, so this last comment will be handled by my moderator. So real quick, going to a new incognito window, and then logging in as that test member who I promoted to the moderator in my circle now. So I'll log in as that account, and going to the circle. Here, since they're a moderator, they have this moderation tab like I do as a site admin. In here they can ignore, remove the content, and ban. And going back to the feed, the moderator has the ability to remove comments and posts too. like that. And that's it. You've now seen how to set up and manage community groups on your MemberPress website with the ClubCircles add-on. As you create and manage your own circles, be sure to check out our support documentation articles on ClubCircles for a lot more detailed references about the many things that we went over in this video. Also, check out our support docs and video tutorial on ClubDirectory too, which is actually sort of the first part to this video. But if you didn't already check that out before, be sure to watch it to see how to set up your member profiles and directories. So profiles and directories, alongside circles, will let you offer a full-fledged community group experience to your members. Also, before you go, be sure to follow the MemberPress blog and YouTube channel for all of our latest tips and tricks on all things MemberPress and membership websites. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one. If you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos that makes getting MemberPress up and running a breeze.